Now, this is where the thing gets really interesting. So we are going through all the states, and Kashmir is a state which is insurgency prone, right? There's a lot of violence. There's been quite a lot of violence for many years. In fact, that picture there is me putting flowers on the spot where almost 40 soldiers were killed by a car bomb some years back. So we arrive in Kashmir, and Kashmir is this so-called violent place. And as I'm entering Kashmir, the security guys come to me and say, listen, we need to talk to you. So what do you need to say? And they say, well, look, the thing is, you can't walk in Kashmir, right? It's not a good idea. We're walking 3 days, and we're walking 3 days in the roughest districts. So you can't walk in Kashmir. It's a bad idea. So I'm like, why can't I walk in Kashmir? And they're like, well, because you'll get hand grenades thrown on you. So now I'm responsible for 120 people I'm working with, right? So I'm like, look, let me go and have a little word with them. And so I go and have a little word with them and say, look, they're telling us they're going to get hand grenades thrown at us. And they're like, okay. And I was like, frankly, I want to walk. I mean, you know, if we get hand grenades, we get hand grenades. So they're like, yeah, we should all walk. And so we decided we're going to walk. And we start to walk. And suddenly what starts to happen is these Indian flags start coming everywhere, right? Everywhere, they just start coming out, right? The first day we're told about 2,000 people are going to show up, and 40,000 people show up, right? And that thing over there, where I'm sitting on that jeep, is because the police and security system just been overloaded, and it's collapsed, right? Because they can't manage the crowd. And if you look carefully, you'll see the panic on the security people's faces. Anyway, they pull us out of that and say, this just doesn't work. We can't go through this in this manner. And then the next day they set it up properly, and then we go through. That's us entering Kashmir where the mountains are. That's on the first day. And then the really interesting thing happened.